The iconic image of the brave protester facing down tanks in Tiananmen Square. But it was only 4 tanks, it turns out. The original photo, cropped, has now been released. And you don't see 4 tanks. You see 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. It's another about 40, 50. Looks about like 65 tanks that one person stopped them. And did they stop them forever? No, but if they'd have kept on coming, they would have won. And it's the same thing with the TSA. Take their time up. Demand the opt-out. Let them make a scene. They want to hold you up, come early. We're going to break these globalists. We're going to wake up. We're not going to just dance around like a bunch of zombies and think it's cool to destroy ourselves. And while you're at it, remember to support the new media that is fighting the globalist media. They're doing everything they can to shut us down. They hate the fact that our information is getting out. Spread the word about Infowars.com. Get a Prisonplanet.tv so you can see the daily radio show and not just hear it, but also see the nightly news. 15 cents a day. 1 membership's really 6 memberships. Prisonplanet.tv. 15-day free trial running right now. Support us. I'm risking my life, ladies and gentlemen, because I know we don't have a future if we don't beat these people. Not because I'm a hero. You need to understand that. I am trying to amass more capital so we can hire more people and so we can be secure from slap lawsuits and other harassment or legal attacks. I am trying to provision our operation. I'm trying to pay the crew better. I'm trying to hire more people. I've got to go through all of the submissions. I've got to go through all the submissions from the contest to hire the reporters. I want to do it justice, and my crew, you know, people go on vacation. So we're trying everything we can. We're trying to grow to the next level. Then you grow to the next level. Then you got to train people to make sure they're doing things, you know, the way you want them done. We're trying hard here. Just know that. Not out of any heroics, but out of necessity. That's the thing. It's not, oh, special people fight the tyranny. We need to get everybody fighting it. Whether it's writing Infowars.com on Federal Reserve notes, that's the fake money, or whether it's speaking out against tyranny. Whatever the case is, folks, we better wake up out of our trance and realize we're in the grip of absolute evil. The struggle for humanity begins. Now into hour number 2, big breaking Bilderberg documents, including new ones on top of the ones we just covered. David Rockefeller saying that the globalists are a gift to God. Not just a gift to humankind. Talk about arrogance. We're going to be breaking down the wise men coming up. Right now, Robert in Texas, thanks for holding.
Great show today, Alex. Thanks for having me on. You know, I want to take a second to thank anybody who went to the Bilderberg protest. You helped make a record showing there in the 58-year history of this conference, forced it into some mainstream outlets. So if anybody made that difficult trip, you know, that you should pat yourself on the back a little bit for having gone out there to represent other people who couldn't make it. You know, I think that there's a great deal of progress that's being made in the mainstream. Even though you have hit pieces out there, it's still causing people to search for Bilderberg, even if they're not necessarily aware of it yet.
That's right. There's a reason they want Bilderberg to remain secret, because if the shadow government's revealed, then they can't just rearrange deck chairs like Obama and Mitt Romney. We'll start addressing the actual power structure.
Well, as they try to change the narrative from, hey, it doesn't exist and you're crazy, to, oh, it does exist and it's just a regular private meeting, we have to continue to remind people that the past policy on Bilderberg has been one of silence and secrecy, and that is what leads people to want to know more about it, and that's where the controversy begins, is the fact that it has been, they have pretended that it hasn't existed. So they can't have it both ways. They can't have their cake and eat it, say, first it doesn't exist, and oh, now it's just a regular meeting. People have to look back just a few years, probably before you went and exposed Bilderberg in 2006 with Estlin and Tucker. Look before then, and there was complete silence in the media, and it was regarded as something that was non-existent. So like I said, they can't have their cake and eat it in this case.
Very well said. Very well said. I appreciate your points. Bill in Texas, you're on the air.
Yes, Alex, I want...
Your phone cut out right as we went to you, sir. I think we may have had a phone system glitch, too. I saw a couple of the callers hang up just now. Who knows what's going on? 800-259-9231 is the number to join us. Randy in New Hampshire, you're on the air.
Hey, Alex. I was hoping you'd address the Webster Tarpley's claims about Ron Paul being compromised.
Well, I mean, Tarpley sits there and says that Ron Paul wants everybody to use narcotics and calls marijuana a narcotic. And I just think for Tarpley's own good, I sat there happily and, joked around with him. He took it real serious when he was basically saying the globalists love Ron Paul when they don't. He said the maids inside don't like Ron Paul because he'll take their pensions. And I said, you don't mean that as a real source inside. And so he was saying it tongue in cheek. I mean, if that's the, quote, claim you're talking about. The globalists don't want the Fed audited. They want fractional reserve banking. They don't want national sovereignty. I have their own internal documents where everything Ron Paul stands for, they hate. I mean, everybody loves a good troll fight. But I'm not going to get into, I mean, there isn't really a controversy. I went out to interview Jim Tucker. Tarpley was there. He starts yelling, I want to say something. So I said, let me finish with Tucker, and I did on a live stream, 20 minutes with Tucker. I did over an hour with Tarpley, and that's basically it. I mean, I interviewed, am I bad that I interviewed him, or because I'm not addressing it is what you mean? Because I'm getting emails saying you need to address this secret conspiracy theory. It was me interviewing him. I mean, do you understand that was, did you see that in an interview with Alex Jones?
No, I missed it.
Oh, okay, that's what I figured. All right, I don't know what controversy that is, sir, with you saying, that he's compromised. Tarpley is a Marxist-Leninist. Ron Paul isn't. Tarpley admits that's what he is. We'll be right back. I'm going back to your phone calls. Thank you for joining us. I'm Alex Jones. We're here Monday through Friday, 12 noon to 3 p.m. Eastern, on XM 166, on over 100 AM and FM affiliates, and simulcasting video feed at prisonplanet.tv. They have a 15-day free trial running there. One membership is really 6 memberships, so you can share it with friends and family. You can also see The Daily Show, all of my films, and the nightly news show that I'll be hosting this evening, 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern, at prisonplanet.tv. So be sure and check that out today. Up at Infowars.com right now, Rockefeller Foundation predicts 13,000 dead at London 2012 Olympics. That's pretty amazing. In fact, that just came out. You guys print me a copy of that, please. Also, classic false flag, 45th anniversary of the attack on the USS Liberty. Another article up at Infowars.com that was to be blamed on Egypt. Continuing, climate change alarmists leading the world towards global governance. Scientific study links antidepressants. Yeah, the head of the German Green Party was at Bilderberg. That's in Der Spiegel. That's a big controversy in Germany. Scientific study links antidepressants in drinking water to autism. Yeah, I saw an Associated Press study a few years ago studying Dallas and all the other big cities. And in many cities, there was many times what could be in the water from just runoff, including virgin rivers and streams that were mountain fed. There shouldn't be Prozac in it. There was the generic serotonin reuptake inhibitor fluoride molecule. They're jacking the water. Of course they are. They add the fluoride and all the chemicals. It's 70% of the country's water system, 71%. They say they want to put lithium in your water. We got all the White House science czars saying they put stuff in the water. You got Rockefeller Foundation stuff in the 60s saying do it. They're doing it. They're doing it. So the average person is already on these drugs and is highly suggestible. You can type in studies, television linked to Alzheimer's. You can type in studies about chemicals. Here it is. Rockefeller Foundation predicts 13,000 dead at London 2012 Olympics. A 2010, this just surfaced. James Britpod pulled it up. 2010 Rockefeller Foundation document titled Scenarios for the Future of Technology and International Development online outlines a scenario which results in the death of 13,000 during 2012 Olympics. A lot of folks say they think they're going to false flag something there. The first worrying prediction begins in 2012 with the pandemic the world had been anticipating for years, finally hits, infecting 20% of the world population and claiming 8 million lives. Due to this pandemic, the Rockefeller Foundation outlines how the public will welcome a more authoritative government. Yeah, they write all these reports up about how, again, I've told you for years, they'll have a smaller, I didn't even know there was this Rockefeller report. Now I'm looking at it. I've always told you they'll have a smaller attack that kills 10, 20 million people. That'll be used to bring in the total police state control grid. Then they'll bring in the mega death they want that kills 6 billion. And I've gotten pieces of that from other places, but I talk about how this happens, how I can envision exactly what they're planning and randomly type it in and pull up a Carnegie, Rockefeller, Ford Foundation word for word. I mean, it's like, whoa, but it's not. A cop who's been following a serial killer for 25 years and they found, 35 bodies, by the end of it can like guess, well, he tends to strike on the full moon near the summer solstice, and he dumps the bodies in this circle area. So I'm guessing from studying it, and it's not really a guess. The subconscious brain's a computer. That's the really good cops have that hunch back in the day when they actually had detectives that actually did a job, that they'll find the body in this area and that they're going to end up grabbing somebody from this area of bars. Let's put undercover in these bars on this night. That was old police work. Was your subconscious supercomputer just takes in all the data. You got to study a long time on a subject, and then boom. It's kind of like watching a football team for a decade with the same coach. You can start guessing and be accurate most of the time what play they're about to call because you know that team. That's all really good football coaches do, is they study constantly all the other teams and know that. Wow, here it is. How many? I've probably said hundreds of times. They'll kill 5, 15, 20 million, right in that small percentage conservatively in the first wave. Use that as the total clampdown because I can see the preconditioning for it in movies, video games, everywhere. Skynet's a real Pentagon term from the 70s for a plan for unmanned drones. Look it up. In the Terminator movie in the 80s. The Matrix is in a 1976 plan declassified by the Federation of American Scientists in 2000, reclassified under Pentagon threats, where they said we could start putting everyone in tanks with virtual reality, and humans would then power the system with their heat. And then they make a movie out of it. And you're like, that sounds crazy. These people are crazy. Listen to this. The 2012 London Olympics bombing. In the document, the Rockefeller Foundation predicts the decade of 2010-2020 will be named the Doom Decade. Yeah, because of them. Because of the wave of terrorist attacks, natural disasters, as well as civil uprisings and financial collapse. Yeah, which they're engineering on record. But then when we warn you, but point out they're doing it, it doesn't exist, and we're pessimism porn. But all the British Ministry of Defense 07 said everything we've said is going to happen, but from their perspective. All of it. It goes on. In 2010 and